Okay, so the other day, I was eavesdropping, obviously, and overhear this conversation about like options contracts and strike prices. Honestly, sounded like a foreign language.
Right?
My eyes glazed over. It was like instant. But then I had this thought: what if I'm missing out on something huge here, like some investing secret weapon? So today we are diving headfirst into the world of options trading, specifically on Webull. No jargon, we promise, just the good stuff.
I like it cutting to the chase. What's interesting is that platforms like Webull have really opened up options trading to, well, everyone. It used to be this exclusive club, but not anymore.
And speaking of opening doors, Investopedia ranked Webull as the best for low-cost options trading. They even called it what was it? A coveted position amongst serious traders. Gonna mean something, right?
It definitely does. A lot of it comes down to their commission-free options trading. Think about it. Every dollar you save on fees is a dollar that stays in your pocket or goes right back into growing your investments, which adds up fast.
Music to my ears. Now, before we get into the weeds, I've heard Webull is known for being very user-friendly, even on their app. Ideal for someone like me who's surgically attached to their phone.
It's true, the app is very intuitive. However, as you get deeper into it, having that expanded view you get on a PC can be really beneficial, especially for navigating some of the more, let's say, complex tools and features.
Gotcha. So no shame in switching to the big screen when those options chains start looking like ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works best for you.
Love that. So let's break this down. How do you actually trade options on Webull? Step one, open an account naturally. Website, app, whatever floats your boat. And get this, they're international. We're talking India, Brazil, Turkey, even the Philippines and Malaysia.
Really highlights that global shift we're seeing in investing.
Hmm.
It's no longer confined to just one corner of the world.
It's true. Globalization in action. Okay, step two, the equally obvious, log in. Easy peasy. Though they do mention security questions. And pro tip from yours truly, choose answers you'll actually remember after that third cup of coffee. Step three is where it gets interesting. Funding your account. Now hold on to your hats, folks, because there is no minimum deposit required.
That's a big one,
Yep.
especially compared to some platforms out there that require, a hefty chunk of change just to get started. Webull lets you test the waters without a huge upfront commitment.
I do like the sound of that. And if that wasn't enticing enough, they often run promotions too. Free stock, anyone.
It's a win-win. They incentivize new users and give them a taste of the potential gains.
All right, step four, and this is where we get down to business, researching options. Webull has a treasure trove, really, of tools, watch lists, information feeds, you name it.
It really is like having a world-class research library right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
However, with so much information available, it's important to be, well, strategic about how you use it.
Yeah, I can see how that could be a little overwhelming. So, before my brain melts, step five, placing your order. Webull keeps it pretty simple with two main options, simple and group. Simple is, well, fairly self-explanatory, right?
Absolutely. It's your bread and butter. Market orders, limit orders, stop-loss orders, all the trusty tools in your trading toolkit.
Makes sense. But group orders, those sound a little more, shall we say, sophisticated.
They are a bit more advanced, but incredibly useful for, let's say, automating more complex trading strategies. Think of it as setting up a domino effect with your orders, where they automatically execute based on specific market conditions.
Okay, I'm intrigued now. Give me an example. When would someone actually bust out a group order? Hit me with a real-world example. When would someone actually use a group order?
Okay, so let's say you're feeling bullish on a stock, right?
Right.
You decide to buy a call option, hoping the price is going to go up, up, up.
Makes sense.
Now, instead of being glued to your screen watching every little tick, you could use a group order to set both a profit target and a stop-loss level.
Oh, interesting.
So if the stock hits your target, boom, order automatically sells. You lock in those profits. But if things go south and the price tanks, your stop-loss kicks in, sells the option, prevents a complete meltdown in your portfolio.
So it's like, what, automated trading?
Exactly. That's where Webull takes it up a notch with their user-defined trading button. It's like a personalized shortcut for your go-to group orders. You're not manually inputting the same parameters every single time.
Hold on, back up. Our source mentioned this user-defined trading button. Is this like a cheat code for investing or something?
Not quite a cheat code, but it definitely streamlines things.
Okay, how so?
Imagine this. You've got your entry point, your ideal profit target, your max risk you're willing to take. Instead of entering those details manually every time, you program them into this one button, one click, bam. Your entire strategy springs into action.
Okay, that's pretty slick, but why is this such a big deal? It seems like a small thing.
It all comes back to risk management. Golden rule of options trading, especially in the heat of the moment.
Right.
This button lets you automate your risk parameters, so you're not making emotional decisions. Trust me, when you see your investment heading south, it's tempting to panic and make a rash choice.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This helps you stay disciplined, sticking to the plan.
I can see that. So we've talked a lot about Webull, but how do they actually stack up against the competition? Our source had this table comparing them to E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, Tasty Trade. Want to dive into that a bit?
Let's do it.
All right, so while all these numbers can be informative, let's cut to the chase. What matters most, right?
Exactly.
First up, that zero minimum deposit we talked about. Still a big deal. Not every platform offers that.
Huge point. It's all about accessibility.
Okay, cool. But then there's this column, max options legs. I'm not going to lie, it sounds kind of intimidating. What does that even mean?
Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Legs in options trading just refers to the different parts of let's say, a more complex option strategy.
Okay.
So max options legs tells you how many different options contracts you can combine into one single order. With Webull, it's up to 4.
So the more legs you have, the more intricate your strategy can be.
Exactly. And while more complex doesn't always mean better, it does give experienced traders more flexibility, more control.
Gotcha. Okay, last jargony term on this table before my brain melts. PFOF. Break it down for me. What is this mysterious acronym, and why should I care?
PFOF, or Payment for Order Flow. Essentially, it's when certain brokers receive payments from these things called market makers for directing their clients' orders to them.
Okay.
It's a little controversial, but the main takeaway is that it can impact how your orders are filled and the prices you get.
So, generally speaking, lower PFOF, better for the investor.
Generally, yes. Means more of your money is going straight to your investments, not into someone else's pocket.
Good to know. So besides the whole no fees thing, what other perks does Webull bring to the table? What makes them stand out?
Well, they pride themselves on their quick and easy account setup. You can be up and running, placing trades almost immediately. That speed can be crucial if you're, trying to jump on a time-sensitive opportunity.
Time is money, right. Then there's this whole thing about auction crossing information. I feel like I missed that memo.
Don't worry, it's a bit niche. Basically, Webull gives you access to information that reveals the prices and which buy and sell orders are matching up during the opening and closing options of the market.
Interesting, but how does that actually benefit me as an investor?
Think of it as having like a backstage pass to the stock market. This info can give you a real edge, help you understand the whole supply and demand game, maybe even snag better prices on your trades.
Now we're talking. Everyone loves an edge. And let's not forget about fractional shares. Seems like that's all the rage these days.
Absolutely. Fractional shares have been huge for making investing more accessible no matter your budget.
Right.
Instead of having to shell out, hundreds or even thousands for a single share of a company you believe in, you can buy just a fraction of a share.
I love that. And speaking of things I love, clear and concise answers. Let's take a minute to address some FAQs, from our listeners who might be new to the whole options trading thing.
Love it.
First up, what exactly are options? Help the newbie out.
Great question. And a fundamental one. Our source defines options as a type of derivative that gives you the right, but not the obligation, to buy or sell an underlying asset at a specific price on or before a certain date.
Okay.
I know that probably sounds a little jargony.
It does, a little.
Let me simplify. Think of it like this. You're buying the option to buy a stock at a certain price sometime in the future.
Right.
If the stock price goes up, you're happy. You exercise your option, buy at that lower price, and pocket the difference. But if the stock price tanks, no worries. You just let the option expire and you only lose the initial premium you paid for it.
So it's like having a safety net, but with the potential for some nice gains. I like it.
Exactly. Leverage. Maximizing your upside while mitigating risk.
Now we're talking my language. Speaking of mitigating risk, I'm sure our listeners are wondering, is there a way to practice this whole options thing without putting actual money on the line?
100%. And Webull has a fantastic feature for this, paper trading. It's basically a risk-free simulation of real-time trading, but with virtual money. Dip your toes in the water before jumping in headfirst.
It's like a video game for aspiring investors. Sign me up.
It basically is. And an incredibly valuable tool to get comfortable with the platform, experiment with different strategies, see how it all works in practice, but without any real-world consequences.
Okay, last question before we wrap things up. Our source mentioned that while Webull gets top marks for low-cost options trading, Investopedia actually ranks Fidelity as the best overall platform for options trading in 2023. So how should our listeners choose between these two titans?
It really comes down to, priorities. What are you looking for in a platform? Webull excels in affordability, while Fidelity may have the edge in terms of, let's say, more comprehensive features, in-depth research, educational resources, makes them a solid choice for both new and seasoned traders.
So like choosing the right tool for the job.
Exactly. Your individual needs, your trading style, what you're hoping to achieve, it all factors in.
Yeah, finding the right fit is key, no matter what you're shopping for.
Couldn't agree more. No one size fits all in the investing world. That's why you got to do your research, find what aligns with your goals.
Well said. Okay, so we covered a ton of ground today. Webull's platform, the exciting and sometimes, let's be honest, a little intimidating world of options trading. But if there's one key takeaway, one thing I hope you walk away with, it's this. Options trading, yeah, it's got a learning curve. But Webull, they've made it more accessible than ever. However, as our source wisely pointed out, knowledge is power. Don't jump in head first without, testing the waters first.
100%. Take your time. Equip yourself with knowledge. Remember that whole paper trading thing we talked about?
Yeah.
It's like a dress rehearsal
Yeah.
for your future as a, savvy options trader.
Yeah.
And the best part, risk-free.
Love that. Paper trading, dress rehearsal. And speaking of equipping yourself with knowledge, remember all those terms we kind of demystified today? Options chains, PFOF, auction crossing information. Don't let them fade into the background noise. Do some digging, explore, keep that curiosity going. The more you know, the more confident you'll be on your investing journey, right?
Truth. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to finance. Gives you the ability to make informed decisions, navigate those markets with clarity and purpose.
Beautifully said. Couldn't agree more. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of Webull options trading. Hope you found it insightful, engaging, and hey, maybe even a little inspiring. Until next time, happy investing, everyone.